Hello everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Dr. Carmen Bryant, Redefining Yourself, and this is the program with the topic is Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. To all the new subscribers, I thank you so much for joining me and finding something relevant that I have to say concerning narcissist abuse, and hopefully it's helping in your recovery or your understanding of what may have happened to you, or even the individual that you're connected to or have left. And so I thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Hopefully you find some videos, over 100 videos. Hopefully you find something that suits your situation or brings enlightenment or revelation or understanding to your situation, and so that you know that it was never your fault. To all the kings out there, thank you for joining us, queens, and thank you for sharing your experience with us. Most men do not speak out, and domestic violence happens within the male population just as much as it happens in the female population. Is just underreported. And so thank you guys for sharing your stories as well. If you have not already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It is Dr. Carmen Bryant with a T, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse, and hit the bell so you know whenever I come on live, which is usually Sundays between 8 and 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which is West Coast time. And on Facebook, I also go live on Facebook, and then I post videos between Tuesday and Friday, and I pre-record them, so this is pre-recorded. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I do have a Facebook page, which is Psychological Health Consultants and Services. Hit the thumbs up, and I do post videos, there we go, videos on that channel. I do have a Twitter account, which is Dr. Carmen Bryant, I think is one. And that's my Twitter account. And I do have an Instagram, which is under Psychological Health Consultants. I don't think I could write the whole thing out. But you guys are welcome to join my social media, which is all professional media. So if you guys come over to my personal Facebook page, I will decline your request because I don't know you. And so my privacy is my privacy. So I respect yours, you respect mine. And thank you so much. So today I wanted to come in and I wanted to talk about the somatic narcissist, the cerebral narcissist, and the malignant narcissist, and tell you guys what the difference is. And so, excuse me guys, stuff floating in the air, spring is coming. So the somatic narcissist is the narcissist that is more concerned with their appearance, their looks, their physique. So these are the ones that you find in the gym a lot. These are the ones that you find doing a lot of plastic surgery. These are the ones that age horribly. These are the ones that use their body and their appearances and sex to draw in their victims. And just let me separate males and females for just a minute. So most men, the average man, not a narcissist, not one with a dysfunctional personality disorder, but the average man, queens, is attracted by what they see. That's what they're turned on by, what they see. And so when you get married to your future husband, you can't just wake up one morning with a muumuu on and stockings down to your ankles and you don't comb your hair anymore. Men are attracted by what they see, and you have to maintain yourself because kings like what they see. Women, on the other hand, are attracted by what they hear. They're receptors. They hear. And so if you think about how the narcissist operates, the male narcissist usually operates on the emotions to get into the head of a female, while the female works on the appearance, the physical, to get into the head of the man. But they still go and attack the emotions to trauma bond you. And so on both sides, they still attack your emotions, they still attack your mind, and you have to, and the female narcissist usually has to figure out how the man is receptive, how the man is lured in. Yes, sex, appearances, usually is what draws them, and then that female narcissist will begin to operate in your head to get to your heart, to get to your emotions. Females, same thing. Men will get into your head, will get into your heart, will get into your thoughts, will get into your emotions. And so think about just that for a minute, where the narcissist uses that as a weapon. And so the somatic narcissist also uses sex. But remember, the sex is not a purpose of bonding or connecting with another person. It's used for the purpose of power and control. And so if they talk about sex a lot, they'll talk about their performance in the bedroom. This is how they lure people in. The acrobats, and some of them, as you said, some of them is the best sex that you've ever had, because it starts off in the head. And so you can hype up a situation to get yourself emotionally hyped, and then what happens is that your body responds. And some of those narcissists are capable of, a very good sexual experience. There are some of you backed up and said that, there was this big hype about their sexual escapades and what they can do, and it was the worst experience you ever had. You'll notice that in the beginning, they'll focus on pleasing you just to get you hooked and bonded. Later on, you'll notice them withdrawing because sex was just for the purpose of controlling you, and it's all about themselves. All about themselves and pleasing themselves. It's almost like they can have sex with themselves and look in the mirror at themselves while they're having sex with you. So it's almost awkward and weird. But somatics are more focused on themselves, their physique, their appearance. These are the ones that will buy expensive clothes even when they're broke to impress. Their whole thing is what you think about me, how you see me. I'll buy expensive clothes. They have to stay up with the latest trends, tuck here, tuck there. There's nothing wrong with a little tuck and nip here, but not to the point where you look like the Elephant Man. You did so much surgery, you don't look like the person you were born to be. But these are the ones that you'll notice injection here and lift here and plastic surgery here. These are the ones that you see always in the gym, always on a diet. They have to, their appearance, they buy expensive automobiles or things to impress you. These are your somatics. These are the somatics that are all focused on appearance and perception. Let's see. On here, it's the decision-making confidence. I don't know who the author is. I was looking for the author on this. But some of the things that they were talking about, the sexual aspects, these somatic narcissists, are usually the ones that you see with a whole lot of sources of supply, sexual sources of supply. And if you're married to a somatic narcissist, they'll always say it meant nothing to me. It meant nothing to me, but they manipulate through sex. And a lot of times the partners turn a blind eye. Well, it didn't mean anything, and they allow them to do what they want because, even though they're angry and they're hurt, they don't, if they feel like that this somatic narcissist is getting away, they kind of comply. All trauma bonding. Let's see. Let's look. A lot of them have many sexual partners. Sex with them is often cold and emotionless. Let's see. In the same way that they learn to be charming to engage people initially may learn how to behave in bed too, and sex first seems great, but as their victims become more and more manipulated, the sex changes too. It may be all about their pleasure, their orgasm, with little or no attention paid to the victim or the survivor. The victim is simply an object to be used in any way they think fit. Remember, you're just an object. You're a tool. You're an appliance. You're something that they need fuel from. Now, these narcissists also live this, a lot of them do live this imaginary lifestyle in their head. Some of them live music videos in their heads. Some of them live the rich and famous lifestyle that they see around. They see something and hone in on it, and that's what they want. Instead of like the average person would think, let me build my income, let me build my credit, let me build myself up so I can afford something like that. They're the ones with the get rich quick, and their thing is I'm going to find the supply that has that type of money to support what is in my head and the way that I want to present myself. And so they may discard a supply because they focused on one that has more money. And it doesn't help that they have looks because remember they're somatic, but it doesn't matter to them who they hook up with as long as they can get to their goal. Their goal may be, I'm running out of money, I need to do this, and some of them are in debt, and so they have to connect with a supply that has some money to be able to feed that image that they have created in public, because they can't let that image fail. So they'll connect with someone that's able to fund their vision of grandiosity, wealth. They don't associate with anyone that they feel is beneath them. They have to associate themselves with rich and famous people or people that appear to have finances and money. And so this is what they do. This is why a lot of you but this is not how this person was when they left. Absolutely not. Let's see. The somatic understands that sex is a very powerful way to control the decision making of others and will use this to dominate and destroy others. Remember, they have no empathy. And so it makes no difference difference to them what pain and distress they cause as long as they get what they want. And so this is the somatic narcissist. The somatic narcissist even gets to a point where masturbation, pornography is preferable to sex with others, and emotional attachment that is involved. They may also engage in sex with partner to dominate them, to show off their physical attribute, or to boast about it later. These narcissists, also somatic narcissists, when you get to the more perverse side of them, will even commit bestiality. if you have a fond attachment to animals, and I'm not saying all of them, don't get me wrong, not all of them. These are the ones that are more perverse, more have more psychological issues, put it that way. Some of them will turn to sexually abusing your animals, even the dogs, because you have a connection with the dog or having a connection with the animal. They will sexually abuse animals or have sex with animals, or your children. If they're connected to if you're very connected to your kids, they will even use the children as a source of supply, and they have no empathy when they do it. So this is your somatic narcissist. Now let's go to the cerebral narcissist. The cerebral narcissist is all about thought. They dominate people by their perceived intelligence. And so here on Thrive After Abuse, I've used this before, and this is Dana, what's her name? Where are you at, Miss Dana? Let me find her name. Dana Morningstar, who wrote the book Out of the Fog. And so she put on here that with cerebral narcissists, while other narcissists may tend to use sex as a weapon, rushing intimacy and bringing their victims closer. So a lot of them rush into relationship and they create this world that you didn't even agree to. Cerebral narcissists tend to cut off or dramatically dwindle down their sexual behavior once their victim or narcissist supply has been achieved. It's not uncommon for the cerebral narcissist to gain a lot of weight and quit caring about their appearance in order to avoid having sex or becoming hyposexual. So somatics can be hypersexual, and then the cerebral may be hyposexual because sex is not a dominant feature for them. No big deal. If they have to use it to get you, that's what they'll use to get you. Their main forms of preferred sexual release are impersonal, either through masturbation or prostitutes, and they may focus, but a cerebral narcissist focuses on their intelligence. So they manipulate people through intelligence. These are the ones that you can never win an argument. They're smarter than you are, and these are the ones that will also make themselves appear more educated than the average person, and they have no proof, even to a point. And let me look. Where is it at? I saw it somewhere, but I can't find it. But cerebral narcissists are more focused on their intelligence and people's perception of their intelligence. These are the people a lot of times that, and not all the time, some of them present themselves very intelligent. So they may speak in big words that talk over your head. They may, a lot of times they're trying to explain stuff, but it's almost like nonsense. It's like listening to them, and it's like intelligent nonsense. And you can't follow with them. You don't understand what they're talking about. Even if they start talking about, in instance like with me, psychology, they may start talking about psychology and stuff that makes no sense. And you're looking like, am I missing something? Did I lack something in education? But they'll start talking about stuff that, in your mind, you're thinking like, this sounds like complete garbage, but I'm not sure because it sounds so intelligent, using big words. And, so these are your cerebral narcissists. They're not over fond when it comes to sex. Sex is no big deal unless they have to use it to pull you in. Once they get you in, you'll notice they could care less about sex. No big deal. So now let's talk about the malignant narcissist. Now this is on Psychology Today, and the malignant narcissist is the narcissist that you will normally find with two disorders. One is the narcissist. Okay, so let me scroll. Give me just a second. This is on Psychology Today, and this is written by Rhonda Freeman. She's a PhD. In Neurosaga City. That's her site, and it's how to tell if you're dealing with a malignant narcissist. And so I just scrolled down to let's look. I scroll down. So the malignant narcissist is a blend of two disorders. These are the ones that are very vicious. These are the ones that don't mind killing you. These are the ones that have narcissistic personality disorder, and they're also, the blend of this is also anti-personality disorder. Anti-personality disorder, remember, was the psychopath and sociopath disorder, which is now called anti-personality disorder. These are the ones that can be very, very dangerous. These are the, so it's not uncommon for others to feel anxious, intimidated by, and fearful of these people with these two conditions, which is the malignant narcissism, which is the anti-personality disorder. The combination of poor apathy coupled with aggression, hypersensitivity, and suspiciousness can bring pain to others. And so those who interact with malignant narcissists often consider them jealous, petty, thin-skinned, punitive, meaning that they will punish you if you cause them any kind of narcissistic injury or anything that will cause them embarrassment, hateful, cunning, and angry. These are also ones, so they can be on any scale. The lower narcissists are usually the ones that have problems with regulating their rage and their anger. These are the ones that are very obvious. They're angry, they're rageful, but with the malignant, these are the ones that have that anti-personality disorder as well. So let's see, they're not regulated, so they're shallow, they're not regulated emotionally, and have beliefs that swing from one extreme to the next. Sounds like the lower or the lower narcissist that has not grew into the narcissism yet. They're still all over the place. Some of them never do. So their decisions can hurt others because they rank relationships and people based on their superficial standards and categories. They want to land on top, even when pretending to be altruistic, or engaging in an activity that should be all about them. They often view the world through primitive binary lens, for example, winner or loser, dumb, smart, rich, poor, pretty, ugly, black or white, all the while sustaining the belief that they are superior. This is likely associated with problems processing emotional information and reflects faulty neurobiology. And so let's go to, let me make sure I didn't delete it. So let's go to anti-personality, which is the psychopath and sociopath, the original psychopath and sociopath disorder. So anti-personality disorder. So let's look. Where is it at? So the anti-personality disorder said that what here on Psychology Today, and this one was written by, okay, didn't scroll up. I'll find out who it was written by on Psychology Today. And so these disorders, antisocial personality disorder, usually has an onset at adolescent or early adulthood. It's stable over time and leads to personal distress and impairment. So it's categorized by a pattern of disregard for and violation of the rights of others. The diagnosis anti-personality disorder is not given to individuals under the age of 18, but is given only if there's a history of some symptoms of conduct disorder before the age of 15. The symptoms of antisocial personality, or remember psychopathic, sociopathic, vary in severity from harmful, dangerous behavior patterns, and these are referred to as sociopath or psychopathic. There's been a debate, and it says between the two descriptions, sociopathy is chiefly characterized as something severely wrong with one's conscience. Psychopathy is characterized as a complete lack of conscience regarding others. Some professionals describe people with a constellation of symptoms as stone cold to the rights of others. Complications of this order include imprisonment, drug abuse, or alcoholism. And so let's see. It says that anti-personality disorder is much more common in males than female, and the highest prevalence of antisocial personality disorder is found among males who abuse alcohol or drugs, or who are in prison or other forensic settings. Now, so the features in the DSM-5 for antisocial personality is a violation of the physical or emotional rights of others, lack of stability in job or home life, irritability and aggressiveness, lack of remorse, consistent irresponsibility, recklessness, impulsivity, deceitfulness, and childhood diagnosis or symptoms consistent with conduct disorder. Can't tell them what to do. And so now think about it. So some researchers say that narcissists, it has to be one or the other. Either they're somatic or cerebral. But you'll notice that there are some that kind of cross over back and forth. And some of the somatic narcissists also have the features of cerebral narcissism, and they know when to use the cerebral. They know when to shift over to cerebral. When they're amongst people, that means that the somatic kind of goes not dormant, but kind of it's almost like a scale. So when they need to use the cerebral, the somatic is downplayed a little bit, so they can focus if they have supply that they're seeking, or if they're in an environment that requires the cerebral to project that imagery of intelligence, of wisdom, of high intellect, of just a superstar. Then they know how to use that cerebral narcissism in order to get what they need as supply. But the dominant trait will usually come out, and some of them are somatic narcissists. So that dominant trait will kick back in once they've gotten the supply. And think about it, to have an intelligent, nice-looking, well-dressed, meticulous, well manicured, nice car, nice clothes, nice smell. You know, those are somatic narcissists, and when they open up their mouth, especially if you're light educated, then they have to kick in the cerebral mode. So not only are they attractive, they've appealed to your eyes, but now they're appealing to your mind. And so they know how to switch back and forth. So those are the ones that may have both. They may be dominant somatic, you know, or they could be a cerebral. So that means that the sex and the looks won't really matter to them unless they're trying to pull in supply. But then you have the dominant features will usually kick in, you know, eventually you'll see what the dominant features are. And then a malignant narcissist is one that also has that psychopath, sociopath, which is the anti-personality disorder as well. Those are the ones that are very dangerous, that can be very dangerous, that don't have a problem with killing you. You know, they don't have a problem. Those, they do a lot of damage. Narcissists do a lot of damage in the first place, but a malignant narcissist will do a lot of damage. They can be very violent and very cruel, and they don't mind tormenting. And when I say tormenting, almost to a point, tormenting like murderers torment. They like, you know, the average narcissist, period, enjoy and get pleasure out of seeing your pain. It gives them fuel. It makes them feel empowered. And in their mind, it's more like, I made you react like that. I made you respond like that. What I did caused you to react the way that you did, and it caused you pain. And in their mind is, I have control over you. And so the more I can make you react, the more I can make you cry out in pain, the more I can make you beg, the more I can make you ask questions, the more I can cause you to believe that you are the problem and not me, the more pleasure and the more fuel I'm getting out of it. And I get pleasure. And we talked about that smile, that almost evil, you know, sadistic smile. It's like they get pleasure. Their eyes get bright and they get pleasure, and they're happy to see you in pain like that. So hopefully that has answered some questions between somatic narcissists, cerebral narcissists, and malignant narcissists, and the combination of them all. You know, so hopefully that has answered some questions for you and given you some more insight on the type of narcissist you may have been with. And some of you can now pick up some traits and pick up some symptoms, and oh my gosh, this is what this person was like. You know, share your thoughts, share your ideas. People need to hear this. There are people that are on YouTube that are healing. There are people on Facebook that are healing. They're finally getting the aha, like, I'm not the problem. It was never you. They were the problem. They projected on you. You took responsibility for their dysfunction. And anytime, and just to let you know, anytime you're dealing with people and you're in a lot of people that are fresh in the discard, they're having trouble with the reality that they were with a narcissist. And so a lot of times people want you to prove to them that they were with a narcissist. If you're asking someone to prove to you that they were a narcissist and you already have the information, they're probably a narcissist. So it's not up to another person to teach you or teach you is one thing, but to prove to you that you're with a narcissist. You know the person, and when you're watching the videos, you can pick up on the traits and the symptoms. The hardest part is to believe it. You want someone, prove to me. There's nothing to prove. If you're watching the videos or anybody else's videos, you're picking up on the symptoms. The problem is that most people, when they're fresh in the discard and learning about these individuals, they're in severe denial. They just cannot believe that a person is like that. Yes, narcissists have, they show the good side of them. They do show that they love pets. They do show that they do this and that and whatever they do to pull you in. But the problem is, a narcissist is a narcissist. They wear a mask, and there is an illusion of perfection. Nobody will believe that you're with a narcissist unless they get educated about it, and when they get educated about it, it's easier to believe you. But a lot of people don't believe it. So hopefully this has helped you. You guys stay tuned. My book is with the editor. They said 6 to 8 weeks, so I'm hoping that the book will be released maybe in May time frame, but I'll let you know when the book is released so that you guys can go and purchase the book. I'm so excited about it. Hopefully you purchase, support me, let me know what you think about it, and I'm so honored. Thank you guys for being here on YouTube. Please subscribe to my channel, Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Hit the bell so you know whenever I upload, and you're welcome to go to my Facebook page, Psychological Health Consultants and Services, and hit the thumbs up so that you can see whenever I post and whenever I come on live. Thank you guys so much for your support, and go be great.